Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD podcast, where it's all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of the EntreMD podcast. We are going to have an absolute blast today, and I'm going to talk to you about why for the last, I think almost 2 decades at this point, I celebrate the New Year's in October, right? I have my January 1st in October, and it's a weird concept, but it's one of the reasons I have had very productive years and I've had really great Q4s, like the fourth quarter of the year. And I'm going to spill all the beans, okay? So you know all about it. At the time of this recording, we're about a week away from the vision retreat for the EntreMD Business School. So I share all my tricks, I share all my hacks, shortcuts, all of that. And so this same thing that I'm teaching you, we're going to do it like for 2 days on the beach in person. And this is for the students in the EntreMD Business School. So it's going to be an absolute blast. And you're going to get a little bit of it, like, you know, what you can do to make sure that the fourth quarter of the year and the next year, like you're super ready. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it. All right. Now, part of the reason why I'm excited I have this habit, this is not the reason why I started it is because, you know, think about what happens at the end of the year, right? As we get close to the end of the year, there's, you know, Halloween in October, there's Thanksgiving in November, there's Christmas in December. And what ends up happening is a lot of times we stay in holiday mode, like full on, you know, it's the holidays, you know, we're celebrating for almost 2.5 months. Like for some people, it's 3 months because it's all of October planning for what's going to happen in Halloween, most of November planning for Thanksgiving, and most of December planning for Christmas and New Year's. So it ends up being this whole 3-month period when it's like, we're just in celebration mode. And, you know, we don't think about goals. We don't think about accomplishing things. We don't think about closing the year hard. And of course, I'm all for balance. So we're going to talk about that. But, you know, I mean, I heard someone say this. I think it was Ed Milet. And he said, you know, it's called a holiday, not a hollow month. You know what I'm saying? Or a hollow week. And his concept was like, you know, guys, we still have things to do. We still have goals to accomplish. You know, like we can't just throw away 3 months of the year, you know, because of the holidays. So he's like, it's a holiday. So celebrate the day and stay productive, right? And, you know, granted, if you might say, you know, I want to celebrate the whole week, and it's fine. Like, we're not making any rules here. I just want you to hear a concept and take what you can take out of it, right? So you can take a week, but think about it. If you take a week for Halloween, a week for Thanksgiving, and a week for Christmas, that's 3 weeks. out of 2.5 months or 3 months, as opposed to 2.5 months, right? And so, it's just to start thinking in those kind of terms. And that's the reason why I love all of this. Okay. So what I do is the same thing people do in December, like towards the end of the year, towards the end of December for most people, actually, they start setting their goals. This is what I'm going to get done in the following year. That whole thing that happens, I do it right at the end of Q3, right? So September, the end of September, I'm like, okay, what do I want the next year to look like, right? What do I want to accomplish? What are the things that stopped me this year that I have to overcome? What are the wins that I had so I can celebrate and not feel like I didn't do anything all year long, right? And I take those walks to dream. I pick out those, 9 core areas of my life and I start thinking through them, right? Like, what do I want to get? And so I have my goals for the next year. So in this case, I have my goals for 2022 done end of September 2021. All right. So when I start Q4, when I start October, I don't start with the energy of, it's the end of the year, that kind of stuff. I start with, it's a brand new year. It's a brand new year. Let's get this stuff done. And so I still end up celebrating the holidays, but I celebrate the holidays as someone who still has stuff to do, right? I celebrate it like someone who still has goals to accomplish. That's the way that I do it. So it gives me all this energy. It gives me this drive. It makes me super productive in Q4. It helps me stay in balance, right? Because really what ends up happening is I celebrate really well and I produce very well, right? So I end up getting both. And in January, I'm already feeling like this is my 4th month in the year, right? So I'm rolling, like I'm getting stuff done. And so by the time people are celebrating January 1st, I'm like, been there, done that, have 5 t-shirts. And it's psychological, right? It feels like cheating. It feels like I'm 3 months ahead, like a whole quarter ahead. We make up time. That's really what all this is, like who defines January and December. But the bottom line is it's a great confidence booster. It's a great productivity tool for me, at least. And so I do it. And I want to invite you to do the same thing. Think about it in those terms. I used to think about companies like the Apple, Amazon and the Best Buy, the rest of them. And I'm like, well, guess what they don't do in Q4? They don't sleep in Q4, right? Q4 is when, for many of these companies, they do their biggest sales, it's their biggest revenue month. And they push and they take advantage of, the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday and all these other things to really push their businesses forward. And so for me, I'm like, you know what? I mean, one of the things is like, I like going against the grain. So if the quote unquote masses are going in one direction, I'm like, yeah, I bet the really successful people are going in a different direction. Right? So I'm going like, wait a minute. I'm not going to run around and then, follow the whole mass shopping thing and everything is on sale and all that kind of stuff and forget about my destiny and my purpose and my goals and my dreams and spend all my money helping them get what they want, right? And there's nothing wrong with spending money. Don't misunderstand me. But the point is they're chasing after their goals. I'm going to chase after mine. And that's really the way that I think about it, So when I started considering things that way, I was like, no, I'm going to take great advantage of Q4, right? And you may be thinking, okay, wait a minute, where's the balance though, right? Like what's wrong with holidays? What's wrong with traveling and forgetting about your business and all of that stuff? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with doing any of those things, but we're going to balance, right? And so what that means is, well, if you're taking a whole week off for each of these holidays, then you can actually work the rest of the time. And if you have your goals already set, you already have your marching orders, right? It's almost like for one of a better way to describe it, it's almost like having a GPS, right? Like you set your goals, it's your GPS, and you just move in that direction. So you celebrate hard and you work hard and you end up with an amazing Q4, okay? And if you think about it, the truth of the matter is champions usually do what everybody else is not willing to do, right? So if everybody takes that as time off, then that means it's really easy to get the advantage, right? Because Most people are not producing. Most people are not, maybe they slack off on serving their clients. They slack off on innovating. They slack off on putting themselves out there, marketing, all that stuff. And, that's just your time to take over. So set your goals in October. Set them in September. Start your year in October. It's like so much fun. Okay. Now, I'm doing the retreat for the EntreMD Business School, and we're going to be working on the vision, all of that stuff. And if you're not in the EntreMD Business School, there is a program I have called EntreMD On Demand. And the first course in EntreMD On Demand is 5 steps to your best year. And it's my goal setting workshop, right? And we talk about all of it. So for instance, your life has 9 core areas. It's not 1 or it's not 2. And I think the more in tune you are with this, the lesser risk you are for burnout and being so dissatisfied with your career and all of those things, right? So you have 9 core areas of your life. We discussed that. We call it the wheel of life. And we have, how to properly set goals, right? Because the commonest goals people set are things like lose weight, be healthier, walk more, make more money, save more, and stuff like that. Those are goals like they never happen, right? Because they're not defined enough to inspire you. And if they don't inspire you, they're just flat out not getting done, right? So we talk about how to properly set goals. And one of the things that I love that we really looked into is how to create your own accountability system. Because, I think almost everybody's had those times where you set goals and you put it away and you came back a year later and you hadn't done anything, right? It was out of sight, out of mind. You feel like you didn't make a whole lot of traction in a whole year. And this will help you create an accountability system. Like, what do I need to do to make sure that my goals stay in front of me and that I'm taking action on my goals every single day, week, month, depending on what the goal is, right? So we have those core 3 things in there, and you can do that. And you might go like, wow, this is not September, but guess what? Right now is better time than any other time, right? So you can sign up for it. It's entremd.com/on-demand. And you can sign up for that. You can take that course right away and you will be on your way. Now, I will warn you, it is simple. And the thing about simple things is that they're simple to do and they're simple not to do. They're easy to do, they're easy not to do. And I will advise you to do them. Okay. I'll advise you to do it. I'll advise you to document it. I'll advise you to dream it up, do all the things, and it will change your life. Okay. So do it. Set your goals. And even if you didn't sign up for the course, I highly recommend it, but even if you don't sign up for it, take some time today, take a walk or, go sit by yourself somewhere and sit and write out your goals and start chasing them. Okay. Now, you might go like, well, I've done that before and it didn't really work. I want to tell you something. You're a physician and you're listening to me, which means at some point you made a goal that you're going to become a physician. The overall acceptance rate, you've heard me say this many times, into medical school is 7%. You set a goal to do something with a 93% failure rate and you did it. Okay. And so that means this as well, you're going to get it done. Okay. You can create the life you want. You can create a masterpiece. You can look back at the year and you can say, wow, the first 9 months, I didn't do a whole lot, but this last quarter, you can make a masterpiece out of it. You can do things that will blow your mind. You can change. Okay. You went from being the high schooler who was just doing their thing to somebody who everybody says, yeah, we can put lives in her hand or his hand. He'll take care of it or she'll take care of it. Okay, that's the level of transformation that you created. So guess what? You can do it again. Okay, so set your goals and start running. And I would love to hear that you really enjoyed the holidays. You had meaningful time with your family. You reconnected with your extended family. You made memories. And Q4 ended up being the absolute best quarter of the year for you. You can have both. And I want to challenge you to do both. Okay. So there you have it. This is the reason why I do October. This is the reason why for everyone I coach and everyone I mentor and everyone who's part of the EntreMD Business School, I push for October. Like I'm taking everybody to an in-person retreat so we can go work all these things out and work out all the kinks and get all our plans and start running from now. Okay. So that's why I do it. That's why I have everybody do it. And that's why I'm telling you so you can do it too. It is the secret sauce. Okay. All right. So thank you for listening. Go do it. Share this episode. And once you set your goals, PM me. Let me know what I used to do my goals in December. Now I've gotten it done in October and I'm already crushing them. Okay. I would love to hear of the confidence boost. Maybe you send me a DM in December and you're like, oh my goodness, I have never been as excited for the new year because I had all these things I did in Q4 and I know I'm going to have Q1 for lunch. Okay. Can't wait to hear it. So thank you for listening. And I will see you, my friend, on the next episode of the EntreMD podcast. Hey, if you love listening to the EntreMD podcast, I want to invite you to join EntreMD On Demand. It is my signature subscription program that gives you access to a library of business courses designed to help you do one thing as a physician entrepreneur, and that is to thrive. Just head out to entremd.com/on demand, and I'd love to have you join us. See you on the inside.